The Panthers play tonight against the vaunted monsters of the Midway.
Oh, yes.
In name, maybe not as much in reputation, the Chicago Bears. This one is the only game on tonight. This one is Thursday night football at its finest. This one is the Heisman Trophy winning #1 overall pick from the Alabama Crimson Tide against the undrafted rookie from Division II Shepherd University, Bryce Young versus Tyson Bagent, the Carolina Panthers versus the Chicago Bears. Now, it's not just a quarterback matchup, but it is a wildly important quarterback matchup for Bryce Young. Bryce Young versus Tyson Bagent. I think we know how this should look, which is like one quarterback is significantly better than the other quarterback. For the simple fact of opportunity cost. What could you have done with the resources you used to get these two quarterbacks? The difference better be pretty monumental. Right now, sports are a great team game. Some would call it the ultimate team game, right? You need all 11 guys on the field, all 22 starters, all 56, 53, whatever men on the active roster. Yes, it is the ultimate team game. And if you're the Panthers, I don't even care if you win the game. You want to. It's better if. But you must. It is a necessity for you to look much. I'll put like 37 much in there. Much better at quarterback. Now, we can sit here, and we have sat here, and you've hopefully listened, and we've talked into these mics about all of the CJ versus Bryce Young. We've done it so much. We've done C.J. Stroud versus Bryce Young arguments so much, my brain tried to click over to the most overdone argument in the history of the world with MJ versus LeBron. So I went to say C.J., and my brain went, I'm so tired of this. Let's go MJ with it. By the way, it's not an argument in my book. That one. Just had to get that out there. C.J., however, versus Bryce Young, we can have that argument. Should you have done this? Should you have done that? Who will look better in the long run? There's nuance. There's context. There's supporting casts and coaches involved. Bryce Young versus Tyson Bagent, there's no nuance. There's no context. It's Bryce Young better be way the heck better than Tyson Bagent. This is the #1 overall pick that you traded the #9 overall pick, next year's first-round pick, DJ Moore plus 2 second-rounders for, compared to a guy that was on a free agent undrafted contract. I don't care if the Chicago Bears have a better supporting cast. Those are going, well, if Bagent looks better, DJ Moore is the one making him. The difference between Bryce Young and Tyson Bagent better be bigger than DJ Moore. The difference between Bryce Young and Tyson Bagent better be bigger than Cole Kmet. It better be, right? It better be light years. It better be if you put Tyson Bagent on a healthy Cincinnati Bengals with Jamar Chase and T. Higgins and Tyler Boyd, and I don't care, make it an all-star game with the Dolphins and give them Tyreek Hill and Jalen Waddle. Bryce Young better still be better. Because he's the #1 overall pick in a draft that Tyson Bagent didn't get drafted in. So tonight, yes, do you want to see Marquise Haynes, who's supposed to be back in Russia? Do you want to see him maybe get home and sack the quarterback? Sure. You want to see Frankie Louvu keep up his torrid pace? You're darn right. That's all wants, right? That's all. I want to see Adam Thielen have another 100 yards. I want to see Ike Ekwonu not have any penalties and not get bull rushed. I need to see Bryce Young severely outplay Tyson Bagent. And this could be, by the way, this could be pure eye test, right? Because, say Bryce Young has a bunch of drops. Say Tyson Bagent throws a screen and it gets – that's fine, right? I mean, we all know the ways that teams can hide quarterbacks. Maybe Tyson Bagent is hidden the entire game. Fine. If I watch the game, right, and Did you ever get caught? This doesn't happen as much anymore. It used to happen where you get caught playing with the format of your television on your remote.
Yeah.
And all of a sudden, like the scoreboard when you're watching a game would be like half cut off.
Yeah, or zoomed in too tight.
Yeah,
or something.
it'd be too wide, and you'd only see half of Troy Aikman's face when he's announcing the like. Right, it gets all you're on the wide screen, and you've got the square television, whatever it is. You put like, if I could watch this game and hit the format button on my remote too much, which again, I guess that goes away with streaming, but hit the format button too many times, so I don't see the score. Right, so I don't know, which team's winning, which team's losing. If I just watch the game like I'm watching non-chronological film, right, I better walk away going, the guy on the Panthers was much better than the guy on the Bears. Right, take out the context. I better walk away saying Bryce Young was much more comfortable, much more in control, much more accurate, much more I would say well balanced on his risks. He pushes the ball downfield, but only at times where it makes sense in favorable situations. I better say he does all of that better than Tyson Bagent, or else we do start having bigger questions, bigger concerns. Like I said, nobody at this point is going to be a fully formed quarterback, right?
Far from it.
CJ Stroud can look better than Bryce Young. Like if they were when they played a couple weeks ago, if CJ Stroud looked better, I mean, it would have been a difficult PR week for the Panthers, but that's not any kind of nail in the coffin of any argument. You start getting outplayed at the quarterback position, eye test and otherwise, by an undrafted guy. You start to look around and go, well, heck, put it like this, if you could get 80% of Bryce Young in an undrafted player, you have to start looking at the price, right?
Mm-hmm.
If you're buying a car and you're like, this car is 100%, but it's $75,000, 100% of what I'm looking for, or you could get 80% of what you're looking for $26,999, right? $26,999. Right? They always do that to make it seem less.
Of course.
Then you go, yeah, give me that one, right? That's just a way better decision. So even if Tyson Bagent looks close to Bryce Young, it's like, wait a second, you're telling me the undrafted guy looks close to somebody we paid tippy top dollar for? Not great. So there's the challenge for Bryce Young. I mean, by the way, these games are a lose-lose. It's what we watched the first day of the college basketball season. 14 teams in the ACC played a mix of like Division II, low major. Like they just played a bunch of very, very small schools.
Mm-hmm.
Every one of those games was lose-lose. You win by 50? Yeah, okay.
You're supposed to.
You if it's close, oh my goodness, why was it close? And if you lose, catastrophe. That's kind of Bryce Young right now. If you outplay Tyson Bagent by a ton, well, he's an undrafted free agent at a Shepherd.
You're supposed to.
You're the Heisman Trophy winning #1 overall pick out of Alabama. If it's close, well, why did we spend so much on you? We could have spent so much less on him. And then if you do outplay him or if you do get outplayed by him, now we're sounding alarms, we're smashing panic buttons, and it all becomes very, very scary. It's a bit of a lose-lose for you, Bryce Young. But guess what? With the #1 overall pick, kind of comes great expectations. Right, with all that money and all that fame, and what is it? He has a Bojangles endorsement deal.
Yeah,
like with all that. Yeah, great expectations.
Mm-hmm.
Life's not always fair.
The Bears. The Bears.
Should be a fun one in Chicago tonight, right?
I mean,
hammer the under.
That's a lot of faith in a defense that doesn't have Brian Burns.
Well, there's also that too.